Welcome back to another episode. We have a bit of a different one this time. We're on the west coast of Tasmania, and the one question that everyone seems to want to know for the west coast is, do you do the wilderness rail trail, or do you jump on a boat at Strahan and do the Gordon River cruises? Well, on this episode, we're going to do both. We're going to take you on the wilderness rail, and then we're going to drive over to Strahan and check out the Gordon River Scenic Cruises. And we're going to tell you which one we think is the best. So come with us as we explore the wild wilderness of Western Tasmania. Okay, we are in Queenstown and we are headed off this morning to do the wilderness rail
in Antarctica.
Such a lovely day today. We have very cold weather, rainy, not windy so much, which is good, but we are rugged up and I've got sneakers on, so that's always a bonus. What are you looking forward to the most, Kane? What's the thing you highlight that you want to see?
The steam train, the doot doot, and some sunshine.
Yeah, sunshine would be nice, but hang on, I'll just show you. There is some blue sky out there.
There is.
We might be lucky. It hasn't actually rained since late last night, but it just started as we needed to walk over to the train station, as it always happens. But yes, we're off. It's a different sort of train, this one. What's it called, Kate?
A steam train. It has a rack and pinion system which gets us up a big mountain. It's the only one in the southern hemisphere, I'm told.
And we know how much Katrina loves big mountains.
Yep.
So this will be interesting. But we thought we'd treat ourselves, and we're going first class all the way, baby. So we'll see you on the train.
How you going this morning? Good, thanks. Thank you. Good, Trini. Oh, the rack.
What do you think so far, Kate?
It's awesome so far. It's really good. Well worth the money spent on this one.
Now, we paid a little bit extra so that we had the end carriages or the nicer carriages, but we also get food. What do you reckon so far on food?
The scones, the cream and the jam was delicious, and the hot chocolate, awesome.
Oh, hot chocolate was perfect today, but we had gluten-free scones and they were yum-o. I'm impressed. It's so far been worth a little bit of extra money for the food package, and we've still got like a lunch, a dessert and a tasty thing at the end, so
yes. And we've actually had the balcony at the back, so it's definitely worth getting up, walking out the back, and we watch the rail tracks go along behind us, and we record, so the scenery in that behind is absolutely fantastic.
Check out going up the mountain with the
Rack and Pinion. Rack and Pinion, yeah, it's awesome.
Awesome.
It's like a big bike chain to help them get up the mountain. So
and
yes.
the forest is beautiful.
Yes. So what was your fun fact, Trina?
Oh, fun fact was they used to take people in the coal trains, like the big trucks, over to Strahan, and on the way back they the party train would be the last one because they helped finish the keg off.
Ah, yeah, nice fun fact. Party bus. Fun fact for the Ryadina section of the Wilderness Railway, which is the highest, that kids used to jump off because the train went up so slow. They'd run to the top of the hill, get their fill of blackberries, and then wave to the train as it come passing by as they were eating all the blackberries. So yeah, and the other fun fact is at Ryadina there was no roads, horse trails or anything, so they relied on the train to bring them all up here. This is where the town was. Nothing here at the moment, but that's how they relied getting up here.
It's not cold, not cold. You can't see you. It's just so cool being out here.
We all know what happens when iron is exposed to water. Rust. So, essentially, the Queen River is a rusty river. Believe it or not, the looking remarkably better than it used to. 20 years ago, it was a thick sludge that moved slowly like lava and was a result of the smelting process. When he moved from the United States, Stitch brought with him a process for converting smelting. At the time, it was revolutionary. Once the copper was heated to a certain point and chemicals were added, it would start to burn itself. Timber and coal were no longer needed to fuel fires all day long. It was an innovation that made the mine so very successful. The result, however, was a toxic sulphur smoke that hung in the air over Queenstown, and some have said that it could look like night at 11 AM and you can see the cloud 30 kilometres away. When it rained, acid rain would kill any remaining vegetation, and the resulting lunar landscape became well known.
A lot of armchair support right here. Now there's just something about the allure of an old steam train just chugging in, the steam's puffing out of it, the sound, the smell. I can't describe it, you just have to do it. But this was an amazing train ride.
It's almost like a bucket list item for you that we didn't know we had to do.
It really was super special.
It was something that we just sort of found out about and fell into, but we looked up and we booked it, and we are not disappointed.
No, we definitely were not disappointed.
Now, we booked the wilderness class tickets, which were pretty much like first class.
Super first class.
And they were $190 each but well worth paying that bit of extra money, I think.
It really was. And look, if you've got a group of 4, probably a little bit better, because you do sit there and face each other.
Yes.
You know, with,
so we had strangers opposite.
We did have strangers opposite.
Which was fine. You meet new people, but it would be cool to have a group to do it with, definitely.
That's right. So come along, enjoy the ride here, because this is fantastic.
It's really only half a day, like 9 till 2, and gives you plenty of time to explore Queenstown afterwards.
And don't get scared by the whistle like I did. What about the whistle?
Part of our first class package was that we got welcome drinks, canapes, we got morning tea, which was scones and cream, we had lunch, we then got an ice cream, which was from the Bruny Island ice cream, which was delicious, and then we finished off with a little chocolate. My goodness, the food on this trip was to die for. Pepperberry and gin. Chocolate's delicious. The train rolled back into Queenstown about 2:30, so we had plenty of time to explore the sights of Queenstown. While we were here, we stayed on the iconic Queenstown Gravel AFL Oval. It costs $5 a night. There's no facilities, but there is a dump point and there is water that you can hook up to. But we decided today there was plenty of daylight left in the day, so we were going to head on over to Strahan so that we were there ready for our early boat cruise tomorrow morning.
Imagine playing footy on the gravel with that sort of backdrop. How good is that? Well, we're about to tackle the Gordon River cruise. Not obviously on the Gordon River cruise boat, we're on the wilderness one. So, we're going to get on board and go for a ride. Bloody beautiful day for it too. The sun's come out. It's not freezing its arse off like it has been. Let's hope it stays that way. How are you?
Just be mindful of the steps, just get up. Put toilets just over here. And I'll just send you up. Please. Thank you. Yeah, what have we got here? 17, 18 vehicle, just this way. Go. Well done. Just up there, really far away from Denmark. And you do have morning tea, it can be any time of day, just hop it to the bar and they'll be right from there. There's also a bathroom just out in the back deck there. Lovely.
Thank you very much.
There we go.
Wilderness river cruises on the Gordon River. Yeah, you're gonna love this one. This thing's got some serious horsepower. It actually holds the world skiing record for number of skiers pulled behind it.
On board today, they're just great. Catch up with them at any time.
Old rail track. Used to be completely flat, that wall. Had a railway line right out it. That's how they built it.
I was pretty stoked this morning when the captain said because it was so calm that we're able to go to Hell's Gate and we're able to see the lighthouses. Not one, but 2 lighthouses we were able to see because we were going through Hell's Gate.
Look, it was super calm, so it was great. And I could not imagine when it is really rough and blowy of trying to sail a ship through that little area.
Yeah, with no motor.
That's right, with no motor. We were lucky we were under the power of a motor, but having no motor purely based on wind, yeah, I can understand why a lot of ships did not make it.
Definitely.
People died.
It was Hell's Gate for a reason.
Whilst on the trip, we got to check out some highly regulated trout and salmon farming. You can even see the boat there, it's feeding the fish. Now we're about to go for an hour tour along there on the island, Sarah Island, penal colony, 1822 to 1833. They had to come through Hell's Gates, so they called it Hell's Gates because they said it was like coming to hell here. The journey in was hard enough, and then the island life was just as tough. So yeah, they used to shackle them so they couldn't swim to shore, so they had a perfect little island to hold convicts. Pretty harsh treatment, but I do believe they had shipbuilding yards, they had other stuff here, so some of the convicts either tried to be good and work their way to freedom that way, and a quarter of them I think tried to escape, so 1 in 4 had a crack at it.
The entire settlement fitting in 1/3 of the island. They cleared the island of all vegetation, and from here to the other end of the island they planted vegetable gardens to keep the island in supply of food. Have you all heard of a cat of 9 tails? Yeah. All right, well here they used the Macquarie Harbour cat, which was 3 cats of 9 tails woven together to create a thicker, longer cat of 9 tails, 7 knots per rope, and lead pieces picked through it so your back opened up with the very first lash. Now, but more importantly, keep your hands on your valuables and don't look them in the eye. And David Hoyt is here to build ships out of Huon pine. He couldn't find enough skilled labour in Hobart to do it at his shipyards, so he offered to work for the government. They sent him here to train the convicts as shipwrights. While he's here, he built 96 ships and boats in 5 years. 1 coming off the slips every 3 weeks. Wow. You can't do that without the cooperation of the convicts. Tobacco, extra rations, bit of rum, comfortable place to sleep, and Sarah Island suddenly changes. It's no longer a place of fear, dread and bloodiness. This is a place of education, industry and training. You're standing in Australia's first unofficial TAFE college. And the heart of that TAFE college is just down here in the shipyard. So let's go have a look.
See 15 timbers laid side by side, creating a flat, sloped platform to launch the small boats into deep water. The largest ship they ever built here was 230 tonnes. And was approximately as long as the cruise ship you just came in on.
10 convicts left here to build the last ship right here, stole it. And they sailed it to Chile in South America. Yeah, they made it, lived there for a year as free men. But unfortunately, 4 of them were recaptured and sent back to Hobart. And if you want to know what happened to the 10 that got recaptured, the 4 that got recaptured, I'll tell you all about it tonight. At 5:30 at the play, the ship that never was back installed.
Just in case you're wondering, we chose to go on the World Heritage Cruises, that is the Red Boat. 2 reasons that we chose to go on it. 1, it was actually a cheaper option for us, and 2, it is locally owned. It cost us $199 each. We chose to go the upper deck, so we had our own window seats, and everyone on the boat is supplied the same lunch, so nothing different with the lunch.
So you do get to walk around, so get out on the decks and check it all out from outside as well.
With the oldest tree to be caught in age estimated standing, yes, it is still standing at 3,000 years old. 3,000 years old.
So the cruise takes us down the Macquarie Harbour, we check a few sites out in the way, and then we get onto the Gordon River, which is part of the Franklin-Gordon Wild Rivers National Park. More than a quarter of Tasmania is a national park anyway, so this one here is one of the best, very untouched, and we got the pleasure of going in and checking out some of this amazing scenery. Well, we're about to head to Heritage Landing on the Wilderness Gordon River Cruise, which has been absolutely magnificent. What do you think?
It's been awesome. I am so impressed with it and love looking at all this rainforest, temperate rainforest.
It's cool temperate rainforest, so it's magical. We've seen all the hot tropical stuff. This stuff's just as wet, if not wetter, than the hot tropical stuff. Just a lot more mosses, a lot more enchanted. It's definitely a wonderful place to go and visit.
But highlight for me was definitely Sarah Island. It's just such a privilege to be able to walk through and check out this wilderness. Definitely worth preserving. Some places are just better preserved. Can't believe that we are actually so privileged to be able to travel down this beautiful river and be able to access and look at this wilderness. I'm so glad that they actually saved this area, and this is something that we can come and explore. As you can see, it's super rugged, so there's no way we can get in and explore it all, but just being able to have a look at a tiny piece of it, I think is very special. Okay, well, you know, we don't like to do things by halves. After a nice cruise, so we've spent about 6 hours on the water.
That was lovely. That was really nice. It was
Then,
so relaxing on the way home because I nearly had a sleep.
So then we went and had checked out the Hugh and Pine sawmill, and oh my god, did that smell nice.
Yeah, look, when you're not hungry, it is the best smelling shop in Strahan.
And our car actually smelt like it. Did you notice that?
Yeah,
Even
I
when
know,
we left
it
we left a
smells
few
so
things we
good.
bought in there for like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and it smells beautiful.
It's really hard. The good thing about the cruise pulls up at the end at the sawmill. So you've got to get off and walk through the sawmill. Good for business because it smells so good. You're sort of, you know, wanting to buy something because of the smell. And then as soon as you walk out of the sawmill, you hit the polished wood shop.
So yeah, so it was very nice. And just because, you know, 6 hours of that is not enough, we have booked in the play tonight, but it also ties in with the story they're telling us on the boat. So we've got an hour to kill between the play sort of starting and that. So we're going for a 40-minute walk.
Yeah, 40-minute lazy little walk to some waterfalls.
Tell you, this is our biggest day we've had for ages.
Righto, we're about to tackle another one of Tasmania's 60 greatest short walks, the Hogarth Falls. It's about 40 minutes return, 1.2k each way. So it should be pretty easy, I reckon. Let's go. Rightio, we're going to try something new. We're going to look up. Look up there. Look at it. Woohoo.
When you do the Gordon River cruise, you have to finish with the play The Ship That Never Was. It is fantastic, but we're not going to show you any of it. You just have to come here and watch it. It is a fantastic way to finish the cruise and complete the story of Sarah Island. So as we watch the sun setting over the west coast of Tasmania, we're going to answer the big hitting question. Kane, what should people do when they come to the West Coast, the train or the boat?
Look, I'll really be honest, if you've never done them before, do both. Spend the bit of extra money because you're already over there. Jump on, do the train, do the boat. You will not be disappointed.
Definitely. I would totally agree with that. But if you really have to choose one, mine would be the train.
Look, it's a really hard one. I know Trina says the train, and I personally love the train. We have done both. If I had to go back and do one, I would do the train again, probably
Yes,
not the boat.
definitely,
But
yep.
I can't say not to do either or just pick one. Do both.
Yep, definitely. And guys, if you have enjoyed this, make sure you've subscribed. We have so much more to share in Tassie.
Yep, like, subscribe.
Comment below, and we'll catch you next week as we head back into the highlands of Tasmania.
Oh yeah, get into that Tasmania travel.
Happy? At least I don't do it like this. Okay, and it's about me. And oh, Katrina, you can peep over my shoulder if you like.
See, there's us. That's us just there. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, big-ass cruiser.
I can't put that in. You just got at me for farting and then you do it on the camera.